If you look at Islamic finance, it's broadly in four areas. One is banking, another one is insurance, the third element is sukuk, and the fourth element is about Islamic funds like mutual funds, asset management, and so on. All these are designed to help Muslims and non-Muslims to look at alternative to conventional global financial system.
Non-interest finance and national development is an increasingly important subject in today's global financial landscape, particularly for emerging economies like Nigeria. Hello and welcome to Islamic Finance Weekly. I am Rahma Say Mohammed. At its core, non-interest finance, often associated with Islamic finance, is a system that prohibits the payment or receipt of interest and instead promotes ethical, asset-backed, and risk-sharing financial practices. This form of finance is guided by principles derived from Sharia law, emphasizing fairness, transparency, and social justice. Institutions such as ISDB, which is the Islamic Development Bank, have played a pivotal role in advancing non-interest finance globally by funding infrastructure, supporting the SMEs, and promoting financial inclusion across member countries. In the context of national development, non-interest finance offers a unique framework for mobilizing capital into productive sectors of the economy. By linking financing to real economic activities such as agriculture, infrastructure, housing, and manufacturing, it helps stimulate job creation, reduce poverty, and foster sustainable growth. Instruments like Sukuk have already been successfully deployed by government. Instruments like Sukuk have already been successfully deployed by government to finance critical infrastructure projects without increasing reliance on conventional debt structures. Furthermore, non-interest finance enhances financial inclusion by providing access to ethical financial services for individuals and businesses who are either excluded from or unwilling to engage with conventional banking systems. This is particularly relevant in a diverse country like Nigeria, where a significant portion of the population remains unbanked or underbanked. Ultimately, non-interest finance is not just an alternative system. It is a complementary model that aligns financial activities with real economic value and social impact. When effectively integrated into national financial systems, it can serve as a powerful tool for inclusive growth, economic stability, and long-term national development. As Nigeria continues to navigate its path towards sustainable economic growth, conversations around alternative financial systems are becoming increasingly important. To broaden the conversation, we hear directly from key stakeholders across the capital market and non-interest finance space as they share their perspectives on the role of institutions like the Islamic Development Bank, the sectors with the most potential for impact, and how non-interest banks can further deepen Nigeria's financial system. So let's take a listen.
The ISDB is really doing a fantastic work in the developing economies, particularly in the case of Nigeria, based on the submissions that they have made, the explanations that they've given. We are impressed with their performance and we hope they will even do better, they will even do more. And you can see based on the presentation or the opening remark of the Minister of Finance showing what they have done so far and what we expect from them. I think they have done well and we want them to even do more. Where the government of the day is looking for the 1 trillion naira economy. The benefit is going to be enormous. You can see that the bank is trying to bring more projects to Nigeria. Infrastructurally, I mean, you can see the infrastructural breakdown that they are given that they intend to do over the period of time, and we hope to get a lot from it. From this signing, I think we will gain a lot. We will get a lot.
What we see is a new instrument. I won't call it necessarily new to Nigeria because Nigeria has done it in the past with Sukuk bonds starting from the Jonathan administration around that 2011 to 2015. However, deepening and so on, sort of expanding the different types of instruments, Mudaraba, Musharraf, and all that, into different sectors, like the agriculture sector, for example. I see how this will sort of spur new economic opportunities, because you now have a massive demographic who would rather, do Islamic financing, come into the ecosystem to actually conduct businesses. And as you know, rates are relatively competitive, if not even cheaper, and it means that many people can access facilities under this instrument, and we profit share in this. So that profit sharing gives everyone some sort of level of comfort that they will be, obviously, I would say, profitable at the end of the day. So for me, it's a very welcome initiative, and it's a welcome partnership.
It's very important to have an engagement with a country, and Nigeria is an important country to IDB. So the country engagement is a strategy that helps the bank to align its engagement in the country with priority of the country. So it's so important that it's not one-way direction where a country or a development institution will come and say, well, this is our strategy, you have to, what do you call it, align it. It's a two-way direction where IDB comes to a country, try to identify key areas where it can intervene, and then jointly finance it with the country.
Well, actually, I've seen it as a very, very good arrangement. ISDB are a body that are like development partners of countries like Nigeria. And what I've done today is gathering all the people concerned, all the stakeholders that are actually involved in that arrangement. And I believe what they have done will give an opportunity for governments, give an opportunity for companies that are in Nigeria and around to look at the availability of the product that they have in Islamic Development Bank and all their other components like the ICD, the ICTF, and all other components of ICD. So I think this arrangement is very, very nice, and I'm really very happy that I've come. And I believe they have so many good things in the pipeline that most countries like Nigeria will benefit from if tapped very well.
The benefits are great. In the first instance, is creating more awareness on the SDB group services, and it has already launched the path for capacity building. What we have heard from them has improved our capacity to exploit the opportunities that they offer. So I believe with this outing in Nigeria today, what we are looking forward to is them coming to do their annual general meeting here, so that Nigeria will really, Nigerians generally, will come to appreciate more of what the ISDB, Islamic Development Bank Group, actually offers.
You can see the non-interest financing is every day growing, is improving, and more confidence is being established into the non-interest financing. And you got the level with some of the figures that have been given, you can see that the non-interest financing, people are coming into it more and more because of the advantages and the benefits that is bringing into the economy. So the non-interest financing is being welcomed more and more, and we are seeing the benefit of it, and it's improving the economy, moving us to where the government of the day is looking for, the 1 trillion naira economy.
For me, it's a first of its kind, where ISDB has decided to not just create programs and dump it on Nigeria, but to actually work in partnership with the heads of government in Nigeria to design a program tailor-made to suit the Nigerian economy. And you don't find that every day. You find programs designed by partners, and we're literally indirectly coerced to sort of adopt the program. So for me, this is very important. This is having a national coverage of the challenges that sort of begets opportunities and things we can do to ameliorate challenges in Nigeria. Case in point, agriculture, where I lead agri-financing in Nigeria. ISB has shown us, programs they've done in the past. They've shown us programs that they plan to do in the future. And for us, it's for us to design a program with them. I call it co-creation, where we both can come together, take lessons learned from other places they've done it, and also take our peculiarities, bring it all together. And when you're blended, you have the best program that is sustainable, which is the most important thing. For us, logistics within the agriculture space, storage infrastructure, even our input systems as well. How do we, finance creating better seeds for the farmers to move that tonnage from the yield from 1 ton per hectare to about 5 tons per hectare? How do we start to create, better fertilizer blends? And how do we, create different instruments for financing for the farmers? As you know, 90% of the farmers in Nigeria, actually in the northern part of the country, because of religion, they would prefer more, non-interest banking or Islamic financing. And for that, we're going to be co-creating a framework for that, where, they lend to Nigeria for agriculture, using non-interest banking, and we lend to the sector using the same sort of platform or instrument. So for me, this is a start of many economic uplifting projects to come and programs as well.
If you look at Islamic finance, it's broadly in 4 areas. One is banking, another one is insurance, the third element is sukuk, and the fourth element is about Islamic funds like mutual funds, asset management, and so on. All these are designed to help Muslims and non-Muslims to look at alternative to conventional global financial system, taking into account the large Muslim population in the country and the need for the country to seek alternative source of funding. If you look at Sukuk, it has played a significant role in various sectors in the area of infrastructure, agriculture, and so on and so forth.
Well, non-interest finance is one of those other sources of funding in addition to the conventional financing. And this non-interest financing is becoming more prominent these days. Initially, people were looking at non-interest finance as a kind of Islamic concept, but it is just a concept that doesn't accept payment of interest. It supports sharing of profit. So it's actually serving as an alternative. In most instances, it's even easier to get funding through the non-interest available funding than the normal commercial banking. They are not as strict as the conventional banking system. The major sectors of the economy in Nigeria that require support are the main economic drivers. When you look at specifically the agricultural sector, it's one of the major drivers. We can look at also the area of alternative energy and energy generally. These are the areas that once you are able to develop them, and then all this industrial development in any nation cannot go out or cannot be achieved without having energy. So if the support comes from agriculture, go to energy, go to ICT, I think to a large extent it will help Nigeria to grow.
We actually call it ethical finance because it offers the best funding opportunity. It does not overexploit the money, the borrower. It actually helps the borrower. It looks at the peculiarities of the person that needs funding, the business offerings, and the likely trend, and provides for safety. In the event there is any failure, it normally is premised on profit and loss sharing. Though our Banking Act also does provide that, but it is the Islamic banking that actually implements profit sharing, profit and loss sharing, if you like, and their participation already in Sukuk, helping us in infrastructural development, is a great development, is a great achievement, and we believe this outing has helped for all of us to know more and see more of the opportunities, and particularly realize that there are much smaller countries or economies that are benefiting much more than Nigeria, by virtue of which we are now poised to really join our resources as stakeholders to inform our members and also obtain capacity to actually exploit the opportunities and do well after drawing down on the facilities.
I mean, the aspect of the non-interest that is being developed in our own economy is our hope that we is going to benefit the economy. You see, one of the things that are on ground is the fact that the investors are establishing more and more confidence in our capital market. The capital market is improving. The integrity of the market is also growing. It's $1 trillion economy that the President Bola Tinubu's administration is looking for, and we're moving towards it. We will soon be there. From the way things are going, for sure we are going to make it. We are making it. We will make it, and with our hope that as the investors are having more confidence, we will equally on our own side also do our best to ensure that we get the best for the economy.
Of course, it will boost the capital market because more money will be available and more investment opportunities. Business will grow as a result of recapitalization. And despite recapitalization of 20 billion by banks, Islamic Bank, compared to conventional bank, minimum 200 billion, I think we still have a long way to go. The more money you have, the more headroom available to do more in terms of supporting businesses and investment in the country. So it's so important that each of these banks should also look forward to having more capitals beyond the minimum. Minimum means meeting the requirement of regulator, but we need to do more to catch up, to be able to compare and compete.
Capitalization of any business, it gives it more capacity. So if in non-interest banking businesses, if they are getting more capitalized, which means they're having more opportunity to give more support to the necessary sectors of any nation's economy. So being capitalized is increasing capacity, being able to do more of what they were doing before. So now they can do even much better than what they've been doing. If you look at what they have done, a lot of billions of dollars have been spent, have been sunk down to our businesses, even in Nigeria alone. So by the time they get more capitalized, the opportunity for them to do much more is now increased, and they'll be able to do much more than what they were doing before.
Those were insightful perspectives from industry stakeholders highlighting the growing relevance of non-interest finance in driving national development. As Nigeria looks to diversify its economy and strengthen financial inclusion, it is clear that non-interest finance has a significant role to play, not just as an alternative, but as a catalyst for inclusive and sustainable growth. The question now is, how can policymakers, institutions, and market participants collaborate to fully unlock its potential? Well, with that, I say, don't forget to keep updated to us next week on the program. Follow us on all of our social media platforms displayed on the screen. Thank you for watching, and as always, I am Rahma Say Mohammed.